Hello and welcome to Gateway Technical College. My name is Alan Pearson and I'm your instructor for this class. In this video we are going to look at how we access Blackboard, how I organize Blackboard, and the different parts that you will find useful as you progress through this course. If you're a software development major, you will probably have me for multiple classes, and you'll find this video very helpful because I organize all of my Blackboard shells the same way. To start, we're going to click on the browser. So I'll use Chrome for this, but as you can see, I've got Edge down here, and Firefox, which I don't have on the taskbar there, but it works just as well too. I switch back and forth between the various browsers depending on what I'm doing. Some browsers tend to work better for different things with regards to Blackboard and other tools that I use. So now you can see I've got that as a frequently used site, but I'm going to put in the URL. In case you don't know it, you'll learn it quickly there, gtc.edu. I click on that and it takes me to Gateway's homepage. You can see we've got a lot of things on here. I'm not going to bother showing you how all these work, so I'm going to show you the main one that you're going to use to get to Blackboard, which is under Current Students. You can see Blackboard, Web Advisor, Student Email, and My Gateway, which is not ready yet, but will be sometime in the near future. If I click on Blackboard, and Blackboard is the learning tool, so you're going to be going to this quite regularly. Almost every day, I would imagine. You can see username, password. The username is your student ID. You should have an email on how to get your password. You can find that information on the Gateway site. I'm not going to use this because I'm actually using the staff login, but you would use those, and your login is going to be similar. I have a password manager, so this is going to auto log me in. You certainly can get one of those, or you can just remember your password. When I do that, I end up here. This is the Gateway homepage, or Blackboard homepage. You can see I'm on my Blackboard. There's a lot of things on this main screen. System announcements, transfer fares, other things that Gateway has. You can actually get a Blackboard mobile application, so you can use your mobile devices to access Blackboard. Over here you see other tools, announcements, your calendar, different things. I'm not going to check those. You can explore them at your leisure. Up along the top you see different tabs that you can go to. The main one, My Blackboard, shows all your courses, but there's support. If you have Blackboard questions, you can go there. There's a content collection. You can upload things. If you join a club, you'll find it under Community. It will actually probably also appear under My Organizations, which I have not got expanded. I'll expand it real quick. This is what you would see. I actually have a lot of organizations that I'm a part of, so this is information there. And then the list of courses. You can see I've got a lot of courses. You might have 4 or 5 depending on how many courses you're taking this semester. I've got 9 or 10 on here because of the number of courses that I'm teaching. Now I'm going to click in one, Intro to Programming and Databases. This one is completed, but it doesn't have any students enrolled in it, so we won't have to worry about hiding any user IDs or anything like that. If you're in mobile device programming, the video is going to work for you as well because I've designed all of these Blackboard sites the same. So if I click on this, I'm taken to this page. This is the home page for the course. And what you can see on this page is we start off in announcements. And there's 2 announcements sitting out here right away. Each week, as I need to provide you with information and guidance, I might post an announcement here. You should probably check this quite regularly. Here's my welcome. Gateway has tutoring services, so here's a note about that. Watch the video and they'll help you understand how you can get help. They're very good at what they do. They have tutors for every class you're going to need. If you're struggling with something, go get help. You can also come to me for the class you're in, but I might not be able to help you with your math class. Okay. Along here you see a list of tabs. Start here is the next one, and it's exactly what it says. Click on that to start. This explains some information, how to succeed. Come out to Blackboard regularly. That's number one. A little overview on this course. It'll be different for you if you're in a different course, obviously. If you're in mobile programming, I'll have a little bit, but the general information is going to be the same. Some information on the buttons and how I've organized this, although I'm going to cover that in this video. Information on something called peer-to-peer labs. Now this particular class is an online class, so I picked that because I want to talk about how we do peer-to-peer programming labs in an online class. If you're in an in-person class where we meet actually on campus in a classroom, what I would typically do is divide you into teams, two-person teams usually, and you would get a list of instructions on what to do for the lab. We'll have one person who's actually coding the lab. The second person will tell the first person what it is they need to do. I found over the years this is a very effective technique for students to practice and learn, and so I use a lot of these. Now, if you're in an online class, you may not be able to find a peer who you can meet up with and do these. In that case, you can just do the peer-to-peer lab yourself. It's not a problem if you choose to do it that way. You have the option, and if there's a classmate where you can meet together, and sometimes there aren't, but sometimes there are, then you can do the labs together. A little bit about assignments. There's usually a rubric. You might want to look at the rubric to see the things I'm emphasizing in that particular assignment. Discussion board questions are based on, did you answer the question completely and complete all the requirements? Did you put effort into it? A little bit about my teaching philosophy. I'm a programmer, that's what my background is, but I've learned to be a teacher. My background is in something called systems programming. That means I wrote operating systems. This is actually out of date. I've been doing this for 20 years now. Disability Support Services is a department here at the college that will help you with a lot of issues that might get in the way of your learning where you're not able to demonstrate that you've learned the material but you feel like you have. Some things that might get in your way. If, for example, you have test anxiety, the people at the DSS Center will be able to help you with that. You can see there's people on all the different campuses. If you have ADD or something else, there are people that will be able to help that. If you're hard of hearing or you have some other disability, they can help you with that. There actually also are counselors that can help you if you have to, life can be overwhelming. You're a student, that makes you busy. There are people at these sites that can help you with some of those things. Next, go on to the syllabus. Okay, up here is the syllabus. Now, I'm not going to go over this syllabus. What I expect is that you're going to read it. I will cover it in-person classes. If you're in an online class, please leave it or read it so that you understand everything that's expected of you. There's a schedule in here. There's other things. The schedule should be easy to follow, and I'll show you why in a few minutes. There's a Word version and there's a PDF version. If you don't have Word on your computer at home or your laptop, Gateway actually provides you the ability to get Office 365. If you go search the Gateway homepage, you should be able to find documentation on how to get Office 365, and it's free. So I would suggest you do that. Makes it easier. Then you'll be able to look at PowerPoint and other things as well. So that's what's in here. Next, proceed to the learning units. Well, the next item on the list here is learning units. If I click on that, it takes me to this page. Now, the top of this page lists the competencies. These are the things that I expect by the end of this course you will be able to do and understand. Of course, it changes from course to course. So in this class, this is the competencies. If you're in mobile programming or one of the game programming classes, of course, these will be quite different as well. These are Gateway's core abilities. They expect all students to, regardless of your grade and whatever class it is, or major, and whatever class it is, these are things that we try to develop in you as just a general student. Each week, we will be covering a learning unit. You can see I've got a little calendar here. It lays out the week, the topic, what chapter you should read, and how that matches up with the competencies that we see up above. So you can actually look at how I've organized that. Now this schedule is tentative, although I find most times that we get through it in the order, but there's always a possibility that we might have to adjust it a little bit. So each week you've got a unit. It's a learning unit. So this class starts on September 4th, 2018. So this is its learning unit. If I click on the learning unit, I will see what's in this unit. Now, a lot of the units start off with the graphic, which kind of lays out the tasks, the assignments. This first week, actually, for most classes, these assignments are somewhat similar. Do the syllabus acknowledgement is in the discussion board, introduce yourself, set up your Blackboard profile, and complete the learning habits quiz, which is really something designed just to keep you, remind you of how to be a good student. Because I know sometimes we'll have students who haven't been in school for a long time, and even if you have, it's just a good reminder. The deliverables that's on the bottom of this graphic are the things that you need to turn in. These are the things that are worth points. So these all go towards your grade. So all of these things actually get graded. Now, I should have these for most units. Occasionally I'm working on one and I haven't gotten it out there. I've broken the units into 3 different categories. Number 1 is prepare. These are the learning materials and the things that you do in order to get the learning done for this particular week. So read chapter 1. There's a handout here on how to solve problems. So as you can see, it says review that. Look at the PowerPoint from chapter 1 and watch this lynda.com video. Now, you can see right there that that's a link. If I click on that, it's going to take me to this site. This is lynda.com. Now, this is just a little example of what is programming. I don't have not all of the classes are going to watch this same video. You have free access to this. Gateway's library provides free access to you as long as you are a student. So don't sign up, don't pay anything for this. Click the sign in link. And what it will do is pop up and ask you, gee, how do you want to sign in? Well, you're going to sign in with your organizational portal. That's how we get in for free. Boom. And it will ask me, what is your portal? Well, the portal is the URL of Gateway's website, gtc.edu. Continue. And then it will actually have you log in. I'm logged in automatically because I've got that password manager. You may have to put in your Gateway student ID and your login information. And then you're here and you can actually watch this video. So whenever, and I do use a lot of Lynda, it's a very good site, so you'll probably find this in most of the courses. This video is being watched by students across all of my different courses, so even though this particular Blackboard site is for an Intro to Programming class, if you're in any of the other classes, I'll have it organized the same way, and I might use Lynda videos for everything. So, and you actually will find a lot of things that are useful out here on Lynda that may not be things related to class. You can actually go and search for skills and software that you are interested in. Now I'm going to close that tab and come back here. So that's the prepare section. And you can see prepare. Practice will have assignments that are graded, but they're more getting you, they're not necessarily like finishing a product. In this case, we're just getting ready. You have to do this syllabus acknowledgement question, which means read the syllabus and acknowledge that you did that. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Okay, set up your Blackboard profile and click on that once you've done that. The only way I know that you've done this assignment is I see that you've clicked on that, and then I actually can grade it. And then under apply, usually tests and quizzes will be there. So that's there for this particular quiz. I'll look at another unit that has some assignments. And then on the bottom, there's some other things in here. Question of the day. Now, because this is online and I don't go through attendance, you don't have to actually answer these questions. These aren't graded, they're just for fun. Usually in a live class where we're in person, I will start off the class by asking these silly questions. So name your favorite bad actor. Now what that means is an actor that you really like, but you know this person isn't really a great actor. For example, I always enjoy Steven Seagal movies, but he's not a really good actor. But he could be my favorite bad actor. Or Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell of a lot of different cult classics. I like Bruce Campbell. I enjoy him, so he could be my favorite bad actor. If you want to answer these questions, there's actually a tab for discussion boards, and we'll get that. And then I add usually a little learning tip. So this first unit has plan to schedule your studying. Know when you're going to do it. Don't just do it, well, I'll do it when I have time. Plan it out. Next week, so a description of what we'll do next week. Now we're going to real quick look at Learning Unit 2 so we can see other assignments. I can click on this link and it'll take me to that. Here's Unit 2 for this class. It's going to be laid out similar. There's a graphic. Now it says there's a quiz and an assignment as my deliverables, and it lists all this information. These are things to do. So, review Chapter 1. If you haven't read it, please read it. Here's a little Hello World example. I will often have videos for these too. Here's a lynda.com video on pseudocode, another video on pseudocode, some practice pseudocodes. And then here under apply, okay, you've got a quiz. That's a quiz on this chapter. You don't have to take the quiz until you've read through all the material and you feel you are prepared for it. Now, I notice as I'm reading this that this policy has actually changed. So tests can be open book, so I'm fine with you using your book. Just don't have other people help you with it. Collectibles sale is an actual assignment. So I can see there's the actual assignment in a Word document. If I click on that, I can read it. I've got to download it to do that. So you download it somewhere. With Chrome, of course, it lists the downloads over here. I have Chrome set up so that it asks me where to download things. I can see it's finished downloading. I can view it in the folder. And what I will usually do is view things in the folder so that I can come out to them and do this. Right click, properties, and unblock this. Apply, click OK. I can be safe because I know where this came from, and then when I double click on it, it will open up and I can read what the assignment is. Now you can see on this assignment, this describes how you're going to write some pseudocode for me. And then down here on the bottom it lists, well, these are the different parts to the pseudocode that I'm interested in. So I give points for the various parts. I'm not going to go into the details of this particular problem, but most classes that I teach will have these types of assignments. This is not actually writing a program, this is writing a plan for a program. So you're writing pseudocode. Okay. and then you notice another question of the day, learning tips, and what to do for next week. So that's what learning units are. Course documents lists a lot of different things. Microsoft Imagine is the site where you can get the software that we use in this class. And this actually is out of date. I'll fix this later. We're on 2017 right now. Here's schedules. I don't have the current schedules for 2018, so as soon as I receive them, I will post them here. Here's the problem-solving handout that I gave out in week 1. Again, here's a little document. Now there's a week where we will review this on saving, storing, and submitting programs. Something on how to comment your code. So I put a lot of things out here. Oh, look, how to get Office 365. It's free. Other different handouts. So you can find all these different things. Guidelines on how to name programs. Next are discussion board questions. So this is an important one because these are graded. Your first assignment, and this is actually true for every class that I teach, your first assignment will include these two. Discussion board introduce, syllabus acknowledgement. So the way I would do this is to click on the actual discussion board. Now you saw, I should review that to make sure you see it. This describes what to do. And then I'm actually going to come in here and create a thread. So the subject, introduction, my name. You don't have to actually put your name, but I'll do it for this one. And then I come down here. I am the professor for this class, and then I can submit it, and you can see now there's an item in this discussion board. What happens then later on is I come through and I read all of these and I grade them. You can see there's a second one that's due this first week, which is simply acknowledging that you read the syllabus and that you will abide by it. If you want to get together a study group and a group to do peer-to-peer labs, you can try to coordinate it in here. There's other ones. This is a checkpoint. This helps me understand how you're doing. Structured programming. So at some point I'm going to ask you to go out and answer these questions. Write a little bit about computing history. If you have questions when we get to the midterm, you can put them there. Something called batch processing. Down on the bottom you can see if you want to do the questions of the day, and you're not required to, they're just a fun little game, you can post your answers in there and I will usually read them. I might not reply, but I will chuckle, so feel free to do that. Staff information is information about me. That lists my office hours, a few things about my experience. I went to UW-Madison. I've been a programmer, a little bit about that. One thing to note, the best way to contact me is through email. This lists my phone number, but I'm not at my desk very often. And if you call and leave a voicemail, I will actually get it on email. So the best way to get a hold of me is usually to email. But this lists when I will be available on campus. You notice 1 is 3 to 4 online, and what that means is we can do a Skype chat, or BlackBoard has the ability to do chats as well. If you email me, I'm more than happy to work with you on how we can chat, and then I'll be checking email during those periods of time. Tools. So there's a variety of tools in here. You can get to your grades. There's access to the discussion board. There's a glossary in this class. I have it for most classes. It lists different terms. So you can come in and look at different terms in here. You can explore that at your leisure. BrainFuse is actually, I can connect to a tutor. Gateway pays for this service, and there's tutors here. I don't know I've not worked with them, so I don't know much about them. I know I know the IT tutors that we have at the college because they were former students of mine. I know the two guys that I know are definitely tutors right now are both very good tutors, and they're very good programmers. If you want to go straight to lynda.com, it's there. If you want to look at your grades, you click there. Now, this is what it would look like, and you notice I haven't turned anything in. Well, because and I did post that little introduce yourself, but because I'm the instructor, I don't actually have grades, so you can't actually see anything. If you did this and I hadn't graded it yet, there would be a little exclamation point there. If I had graded it, it would list the number of points that you've earned. So you can see all the different assignments. You notice there's due dates for everything. There'll be a description, a total grade down here. The weighted grades don't really mean much. I don't have those organized. And then the different parts to this. And that's what's actually sitting out there. So as you look at these, you'll see these various parts to it. If you want to access your email, you can do it there. Some information about Title IX, various types of discrimination. The college takes those seriously. Help, technical support. This is a video sharing service that I will be using for various parts of this class. This is a nice one, calendar. So if I move to September, here's our first week. We actually start class. Now this is the holiday, so we don't have class there, but we start class here. And you notice it lists all the different things that are due on this day. Now there's actually 2 sections of Intro to Programming in there, so that's why there's all of those. If I just had the one course, it would look like that. And the way this will work typically is, so this week we start on Tuesday because Monday's the Labor Day holiday. Things will be due Sunday night, and then we'll start the next unit on the 10th, and its work is due the following Sunday. You want to try to get your work in by here. There's often a penalty if you don't. BlackBoard help. So if you need help with BlackBoard, it's there. You will not have the course management tab. I have that because I'm the instructor. So that's the different information on BlackBoard. And I hope this helps. Thank you very much.